Imagine walking into the exact same bank, same building, same logo, same employees. But depending on how much money you have, the experience completely changes. At one level, you're waiting in line. At another, the manager knows your name. And at the highest levels, the bank comes to you. Today, we're going from $0 all the way to $25 million to see exactly how banks treat you at every level of wealth. And trust me, some of these changes happen much sooner than you expect. Let's start at zero. If your net worth is around $0, the bank doesn't see a valuable customer. At least not yet. You probably have little or no savings, maybe no investments, maybe very little credit history. From the bank's perspective, you're mostly potential. Now let's move to $1,000. At this level, you're officially on the bank's radar. You probably have a checking account, maybe a small savings account, a debit card, basic banking products. The bank knows who you are, but you're still one of millions of customers. Nothing special yet. But here's where things start getting interesting. Once you reach around $10,000, banks begin paying a lot more attention. Why? Because this amount usually signals something important. You have an emergency, you're building financial habits, you're becoming lower risk, and lower risk customers are valuable. This is where you might start receiving more credit card off, loan off, savings promotion. Not because the bank suddenly loves you, because they're testing the relationship. They're trying to figure out how profitable you might become in the future. Now let's jump to $50,000. This is a major milestone. At this point, the bank often sees you as a stable customer, someone with savings, possibly a homeowner, someone with steady income, and that changes how they interact with you. You may notice better service, priority support, premium banking invitations. The truth is simple. You're no longer invisible. You're becoming important. But the next level changes everything. At $100,000, the bank starts using a very specific word, relationship. Sounds friendly, right? But in banking, relationship means something else. It means the bank wants more of your assets, more accounts, more investment, more products. This is usually when wealth management invitations begin. Investment consultation, premium account upgrades, special offer. The bank isn't just serving you anymore. It's actively trying to deepen the relationship. And here's where things get weird. At $500,000, your time suddenly becomes more valuable. Not because you're richer, because losing you would cost the bank real money. At this level, many customers receive dedicated support, faster service, specialized advisors, exclusive product. The experience becomes noticeably different. Now let's cross the $1 million mark. And this is where many people discover they're not really using the same bank anymore, even if the logo on the building hasn't changed. At $1 million, private banking starts entering the conversation. You may receive invitations to exclusive banking programs, dedicated relationship manager, private client services, special lending opportunity. The velvet rope appears, not physically, financially. The average customer never sees this side of banking, but wealthy clients do. Now let's jump to $5 million. At this point, the bank's entire approach changes. You're no longer viewed as someone who needs products. You're viewed as someone who needs strategy. Instead of discussing checking account, conversations start focusing on taxes, investments, estate plan, asset protection, business opportunities. The bank often brings in specialists. Entire teams may work on your relationship because one client at this level can be worth a tremendous amount to the institution. But the biggest shift happens at $10 million, and most people never realize it exists. At $10 million, you're considered an ultra-high net worth client. The bank isn't thinking about your savings account anymore. It's thinking about your entire financial life, your family, your businesses, your investments, your future generation. You gain access to services most people never hear about: customized lending, private investment opportunity, advanced tax strategy, direct access to senior banking professional. The relationship becomes highly personalized. And finally, let's talk about $25 million and beyond. At this level, everything flipped. You're no longer chasing banking opportunities. Banking opportunities chase you. Private bankers may travel to meet you. Customized financial structures become normal. Complex wealth planning becomes routine. Entire teams can coordinate around your financial goal. And here's the surprising part. The bank isn't trying to sell you a credit card. It's trying to keep your business, because losing a client at this level can mean losing millions in future revenue. But here's the secret nobody talks about. Banks don't actually care about wealth itself. They care about
profitability. A customer with $50,000 who uses multiple banking products may generate more revenue than someone with $200,000 sitting idle. The real metric isn't how rich you are, it's how valuable the relationship is to the bank. That's what determines how you're treated. So the goal isn't to impress a bank, the goal is to build enough financial strength that banks compete for your business. Because once institutions start competing for you, your options expand dramatically. Now I'm curious, where do you think the biggest treatment change happens? At $10,000? $100,000? $1 million? Or $10 million? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to learn how wealthy people borrow money differently from everyone else, you need to watch the next video, because that's where the real financial game begins.